Spencer's here for the APC United Late Model Series post-race at the Sifton 100, and I'm with handsome Chris Mitchell. And this is like one of those bittersweet moments where you end up with a DNF, you end up with a wrecked race car, but there's opportunity here, there's optimism here, because this is the best this car has looked. I know how much effort you guys have put into the setup of this ride. Why don't you tell me how the first half of this race went, because the 22M looked like a completely different car here tonight.
It was. Qualified on time. Our qualifying effort was pretty good. I'm still learning as we go with that stuff, so it was good. We started in a decent spot where we were just going to ride it out, right? We knew how this was going to go. We knew there was going to be some attrition. Ended up getting put 3 wide, getting into one, and respect for my competitor, early in the race I lifted, let him get in, and it hurt me more than anything. Otherwise he would have been right reared because he pulled up. So I lost a bunch of positions there. We battled back. We got all those back the hard way. We come back from 15th. I think we got shuffled back too. It's not a lot of fun, and we were running 5th here, so it's a pretty good night for us.
Do you find that when the field is as tight as it is in this tour, it just takes an inordinate amount of effort to get a spot back when you lose it like that?
Absolutely. Everybody's running the same speed, so restarts here especially are extremely important. As the race went on, it seemed like everybody else's cars were starting to really need a few laps to come back to them, where ours was right there right away. It was great. It was a pleasure to drive that car tonight, and we were in contention and a racing deal, I guess. I have to apologize to Justin DeMello. I was told that he got into me and it wasn't him, so I apologize to him first, and I apologize to him again.
It was a similar looking car. They got a similar paint scheme, so I could sort of see how you could, you know. Justin's a good guy. I'm sure he just sort of struggled.
No, he was pretty upset for a minute. I don't blame him, but I was upset too. You know, we didn't fight the guy. It was just having a discussion. And
far too handsome to fight. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
Not about that. I mean, there was enough of that going around here tonight, anyways.
There was a lot of that tonight.
My displeasure, and it ended up it wasn't even him. So now that we know what happened, I guess it's a racing deal. It's a racing deal to a point where you have to accept others' aggression as well. If you're going to be as aggressive as you can on the restarts, then it's kind of one of those deals. The unfortunate part is that you know, we're trying to run for points. We're trying to stay in contention here. We've been showing up for every race, and the car that got us was a one-timer. So it just you know, it certainly wasn't intentional. We talked after, and it wasn't anything that he did on purpose. So it's part of the deal.
Is it just a product of the environment? Like we said, that everyone's running the same speed, so you're sort of tightly grouped there. Is that exactly what happened in turn 3 or 4 that eventually knocked you out of the race?
No, passing people, yes, you're right. That's the tough part. But that's under green flag conditions. We just got back going green again after a bad caution, and the 2 guys in front of me, well, the 4 guys in front of me, we were in 5th. I believe it was the 3 and the 10 were going at it pretty good, and then the 72 and whoever was with him, I had to check up and left for him, and I guess, you know, check up. The guy that was behind me just didn't get a chance to see it, and I'm out of the gas. He's on the gas. I went around and caught the wall. It's just bad deal.
But so you're so hard on yourself, and I know that you didn't have the performance that you wanted at Flamborough. So as much as you were beating yourself up post race, if I told you then that you would be passing for 4th at Delaware 2 weeks later, you probably would have called me crazy. So I mean, let's talk. I mean, yeah, tonight sucked, and the DNF suck, and I hate to see the 22 car tore up, especially with the brand new wrap on it, which looks awesome. Tell me about the last 2 weeks, though. Like, what have you done to this car to wake it up the way you have?
We put it up on some stands, and honestly, I get on a creeper and I'm laying underneath, I think it was an hour just staring at stuff, thinking, okay, if I do this is doing this, and this is doing this, and this is doing this, and we ended up changing shock package, spring package, sway bar package. We changed a bunch of stuff, and you know, again, bouncing stuff off Mike. He's been such a huge boon to us this season. You know, and the cool thing about it is that, you know, he doesn't say do this and this is what you'll get, right? He says, yeah, that's a good idea. Or I'll say, well, what do you think about this? And yeah, well, we tried this and this, and that's the great thing about working with a chassis manufacturer that has a lot of cars out there, is that they're able to say, we tried this on this guy's car, it worked great for him, this is what you could do, and just, he's tried a bunch of different stuff. So that's kind of an important step for us to be able to get to where we were tonight. So I guess, you know, what the end result was not what we were looking for sure. But hey, I can say we were running 5th in this race, and like I said, we earned it. We didn't fluke our way out there. We raced our way there. So
Now, I think a lot of the people that are tuning into these interviews that I'm doing tonight, and I've done a few of them with a lot of competitors whose nights ended very similar to yours. A lot of people are just waiting to the end to see, okay, who's going to Flamborough and who's not.
Yeah.
So there's the moment of truth. The car's banged up, but in all honesty, from where my vantage point up on the hill, it looked way worse than it actually was, because it looked like you caught the tire, the big tractor tire that started pit road at the worst angle. Doesn't look as bad up close. You haven't been able to get it up on the hoist and see, but from what you've been able to dissect, how bad is the car, and will it keep you from Flamborough on Wednesday?
Well, that's the cool part about these cars, that believe it or not, they're designed to be fixed, right? So that, you know, anything that goes into them it's just time and money, right? Like most of what we think is bent or broken right now is all bolt-on stuff. I haven't had a chance to look at where the lower control arm mounts to the chassis. That will be the telltale factor if we have to get into cutting stuff apart or not. If we have to do that, then that may be detrimental to our Flamborough effort. If it's all bolt-on stuff, we'll be there for sure.
Now, this is an excellent segue, because there's no way you can afford to be a Flamborough without the marketing partners behind you. So thank the folks that are making this whole wacky season possible, especially a bounce-back performance after a big wreck at Delaware.
Yep. You know, there's been some people that have stepped up for this program. I mean, how can you argue? The result is what it is tonight. It was kind of a weird deal with the track having the problem with the oil drop and all that stuff. But 39 late models in the province of Ontario.
When the Great Canadian was paying 10 grand to win, never once did they get 39. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, you know, so.
I mean, you and I have traveled across the states.
Everywhere.
And watched this happen, right? And said, oh, this would be so great if we get something like this closer to home. And it's here right now. So, I mean, Luke and his guys, you know, Luke is personally invested in this series. He wants to see it succeed. You know, he feels bad when stuff goes awry. So first and foremost, those guys are doing a great job. You know, yourself, all those people that are involved on that end of things. You know, they had Sifton step up tonight, I believe.
Sifton, yep.
For the race sponsorship, which is great. Was glad to have them. You know, it's important to have those partners join with Luke as well. So, you know, every bit helps, and I'm sure everybody appreciates that end of things to give us the chance. And then my sponsors see how big it's gotten on that side, and they're saying, "Wow, this is great." So they've all stepped up. Plus, we've attracted some new guys. So there's you know, it goes hand in hand, and everything's been working out great for us. So we've still got Rockstar Energy Drink with us. They're great. Earl Ireland Auto Sales has been with us for a long time, and you know, he likes the big show too. We've got a couple guys that I mentioned on before in a couple of interviews. You know, they just like to be a part of the show. They don't even want their company name on the car. It's not about the advertising end of things for them. It's about our relationship. And if they do come to the show in Peterborough, it'll probably be the only race they come to for the year. But they just want to be a part of the show. They want to have some camaraderie there, so they help out. Tires, fuel, every little bit helps. So I appreciate all those guys. Nicole's done a great job with all my media stuff. You know, Ryan Dyson helped out do the final design on the car, but Nicole gave him a lot of the ideology of what was going to go in, changes. You know, Ryan and I bounced ideas off each other for a long time, and she finished it up. So she does a great job with that. My website, our Twitter stuff, our Facebook page. She does all that stuff for me, so I appreciate that. Who am I forgetting? Myself. Dent Dynamics.
Yeah, Dent Dynamics is a big supporter of Chris Mitchell Racing.
You guys let me know. I can fix hail damage, no problem, through your insurance company. Spencer Lewis Promotions.
I work hard.
What else can we say?
Well, hey, I mean, we'll see you Flamborough. That's good. That's excellent. We'll check back in with you then. Rough night, but there's going to be rough nights, and the fact that you were able to get this car moving in the right direction, and you're coming up through this field of 32 killers is phenomenal. You got a lot to be happy with, and the long nights in the shop, I'm sure, are ahead of you. But be proud of what you guys were able to put together. We'll check back in with you at Flamborough. All the best, and you got a long ride home, so I'll let you get to it. And shout out to Rockstar Energy Drink, because I'm sure that's going to help you get home. I know it's going to help me get home. So have a great night, Chris. All the best, and we'll check back in with you.